Hello everyone, Godre here, and this is my Money Brief. So, on this episode of Money Brief, I want to talk about bricks. I'm not talking about bricks that used to build houses. I'm talking about bricks. Bricks as a block, as a regional block. I think really regional. I mean, BRICS is essentially an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they are an economic bloc. Yeah, that's a better word. Recognized globally because they are seen as a somewhat counterweight to the G7 most powerful countries in the world, which is, most powerful countries economically in the world. So, and the BRICS are basically what you call emerging countries, not necessarily seen as fully developed, whatever they mean. But I mean, the point is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa uh, make up the acronym for BRICS. And the BRICS have been around us for years now as an economic bloc, but they've become a bit more pronounced over the last 2 to 3 years because of a lot of the geopolitical battles that we're seeing across the world. And this sort of got to its height for two reasons. One was the Russia-Ukraine war, of course, and then the diplomatic rift between China and the US, or maybe we'll just call it the silent economic war between China and the US. And then, kind of like more recently, the Israeli Hamas war as well, which in a way links to South Africa. So, and the BRICS countries believe that they make up a significant chunk of global trade. Not really sure what that percentage is at the moment, but they, China, for example, is the economic powerhouse of Asia. Brazil is also the economic powerhouse of South America. India is also economic powerhouse right there in Asia. Russia also a political and economic powerhouse as well. Again, the East as well, and then of course South Africa, which is essentially the most industrialized nation in Africa. So really strong bloc and economically, and so they have come together for some time now and formed BRICS. But just over the week or at some few days ago, it was announced that Nigeria has officially joined the BRICS country as a partner country. Yeah, so not necessarily full membership yet, so just a partner and country. So we've joined countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Cuba, Bolivia, Uganda, even Uzbekistan, Belarus as partner countries to the BRICS. I don't know why my mind keeps mixing the word with Brexit, but it's actually the BRICS. So, and I'm going to people asking, we go, what does it mean to be a BRICS country? Like, is there any maybe advantage or disadvantage? And why the hell are we doing that? Pretty interesting questions that I got, and I think that it's an interesting subject. For starters, like I did mention, the BRICS are meant to be a counterweight, so they're a strong economic bloc. And with the sort of geopolitical silent battles that we're seeing across the globe, a lot of countries are beginning to align, with where they find the most significant beneficial interest. And so for poorer countries like Nigeria, I think that aligning with the West has always been what it's been for years. But I kind of feel that some are believing that maybe it's not really giving the sort of result that they expect. And so that is why they are looking for other kind of blocks that they can attach themselves to that can be of immense value. Of course, African Union is an economic bloc, but that is just for Africa. And we all know how intra-African trade is, how paltry it is compared to global trade. So Nigeria decided they wanted to go and join the BRICS as a partner country. The partner country means you're not a full member yet, because full members have different rights. For example, they all contribute money and they can all vote and make decisions together. But as a partner, you can't do some of those. You can't do those things, but at least you do have some form of limited access to their resources, particularly their market. And so, one of the most significant advantage I think for Nigeria joining the BRICS is trade. So, if you go and look at the NBS data, and I think we had written about that, Nairametrics sometime last year, it appears that most of Nigeria's trade is currently eastwards. So Nigeria's largest import trading partner, like where we import things the most from, is actually China. And what is interesting is that even India is ranking among the top 5 as well. And then Nigeria's largest export trading partner, even though it's Europe, it's mostly European countries like Spain, India is also somewhere there in the mix. And so, and then within Africa, Nigeria's largest, trading partner as well, in terms of even attracting investment, is South Africa. So you see that there is an interest for Nigeria to want to be part of the BRICS, because if your largest trading partners are mostly BRICS countries, even Brazil is also a very strong trading partner for Nigeria. It's one of the top 10 trading partners for Nigeria. Then it would make sense that you want to have some kind of alignment, because that in a way opens up markets, for Nigeria. And then more importantly, one of the things that the BRICS also stand for ideologically is to have their own, to wean themselves off the dollar. Yeah, I think that's a better word for that. To wean themselves off the dollar, not to depend solely on the dollars, on dollar as a medium of exchange, because they are BRICS countries, even though they really haven't achieved that yet. But that's what they are working towards. So if they have some kind of common currency that they use to trade and they don't need dollars to trade, then that could be of immense benefit to Nigeria, isn't it? Remember that we did, have a swap deal with China, foreign currency swap deal with China, which we're also the government has also said they're going to renew. So that is also an advantage to us. So for that reason, it kind of looks like might be a good deal. Then you also want to be able to harness those economies, either for technological transfer or for manpower transfer, or to even support Nigeria's infrastructure drive. And so China is heavy when it comes to infrastructure, and they have the experience. Brazil is also very heavy when it comes to infrastructure and manufacturing as well. Russia is also very heavy when it comes to food exports. So there's a whole lot of synergy that we can get from being a member of the BRICS per se. Don't get me wrong, the West is still the most powerful when it comes to global economy and how it is intertwined and how it works. But the whole idea of the BRICS is it's almost like it's a journey. And so people think that at some point things have got to change around the world. The so-called Bretton Woods era, where dollar is like the post-Bretton Woods era, where dollar is like the dominant currency of exchange globally. People believe that this is the beginning of the end of that. I don't know whether that's true, but that's what they feel. And so countries that now have very significant chunk of trade capabilities now want to be able to trade within themselves. It's going to be very difficult to win yourself out of dollar. Trust me. Even the Chinese know this, and that is why they can't really go head on with the West or with America. And so for Nigeria, more reasons why we got to be also very careful, because we still do need the West for a lot of things that we're doing. But the most important thing is we want to grow our economy, and we don't want to be aligned to anyone. We only want to be aligned to people that have our best interests, and that's why I think the government is going for Brexit. Now, there is a big of a challenge. Donald Trump is in already, and Trump said it clearly that if Brexit guys don't take time, he's going to slam 40%. I can't mimic Trump, but you know what I mean? He wants to slam tariffs on Brexit countries. And I guess that it also includes partner countries as well. And that's a huge problem, because we are trying to see if we can increase exports to the US, leveraging on AGOA Act if Trump does renew that act, because that act basically expiring. So if you agrees to maybe renew AGOA in favorable terms, then perhaps we want to increase our exports to the US. Today, most of what we export to the US is mostly crude oil, so we're trying to increase that. That is what I know at the moment for Brexit. Did I say Brexit again? For BRICS, for Nigeria's joining BRICS as a partner country. Again, we're not a full member yet, but I think being a partner leads you towards being a full member. So we're on the path to that, and it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. And I'm sure more details will be out in the coming days and weeks as the government starts to release a lot more information around what we intend to gain from it. So that is my money brief for today, and as I like to say, to have most profitable week ahead. Bye.